Good day to you, and from the Conococheague Institute, welcome. My name is Matthew Wedd, and today I'm kindly joined by volunteer Jacob Davis. While we remain closed with our buildings, our grounds are open daily from dawn to dusk. And over the coming weeks, we're going to be filming more videos to show more of the site's unique history and cultural and natural resources. Today, though, for our first video, we're going to focus on the Davis family, who was originally here in the 18th century. Jacob, I've been going through the Davises' probate inventories, what they owned when they died, and what I'm reading is astounding. A lot of people have this conception of frontier farmers wearing nothing more than a shirt on their back or what they can make from whatever products they have nearby. But John Davis had 61 pounds worth of goods. Daniel Davis in 1782 had a coat, 2 jackets, 2 pairs of leather breeches, 3 shirts, a black handkerchief, and a 7-guinea watch. Some of these terms are real hard, so can you explain what these clothings mean? What do people look like in the 18th century?
Okay, so there's sort of this general idea that, especially in the 18th century, that for whenever new settlers move out here to the western frontier, that they adopt some sort of style of clothing, which maybe looks more rustic or more frontier, but that's simply not the case. And we know this through research of primary source documentation. Specifically, with this probate inventory, it says things like John Davis owning a coat. So, for starters, both Matthew and myself are wearing that initial layer, that coat. So the coat is the outermost layer for both of us, and whether you're sort of going out around town, or for me, in a working class sort of outfit, you are going to be wearing that coat basically on a daily basis. As far as the other types of clothing that are describes 2 jackets. Now, jacket can be used basically interchangeable with the word waistcoat. It's kind of the best way to think about it. So for Matthew, for example, he has on a sleeveless jacket or waistcoat on underneath of that top layer, that coat. You then hear mention of 2 pairs of leather breeches. As for those 2 pairs of leather breeches, the best way to think about leather breeches in the 18th century is basically the 18th century equivalent to overalls or basically sort of like a work outfit. So leather breeches, they would look very similar to our woolen breeches that we're wearing. It's just that they're going to be made out of leather.
A thicker material.
Yeah, which is a much more durable material. So if you are, like John Davis, working out here on a farm, you're not constantly, destroying your cloth clothing because you have leather clothing.
I can say from explorations this week on the grounds, I have been getting a lot of briars in my clothes, so I can understand that leather would be useful.
Yes, absolutely. Also, too, you have mention of a pocket watch. And now you might think, really, all the way out here in the mid-18th century, someone's going to be wearing a pocket watch? And absolutely, people would have been wearing pocket watches, especially out here on the frontier. How else are you going to be able to know exactly what time it is outside unless you have something like a pocket watch? Now, there are basically accounts from the 18th century that talk about pocket watches, people basically foregoing spending their money on anything else so that they could afford a simple pocket watch, just the ability to tell time.
So they were simple people, they were hardworking people, they still dressed. What was normal to them?
Absolutely, and it is important to remember again that these fashions are going to be completely based out of what was fashionable back in Europe. Obviously, there are some fashions that are being adopted here in North America, but a lot of those European fashions are coming over, across the Atlantic. So both Matthew and myself are wearing fashions that would be typical of someone from the British Isles, from the mid-18th century, and you would absolutely see clothing like this out here on the frontier of Western Pennsylvania.
Thank you, Jacob.
Absolutely.
As we go on, we'll be doing more videos based on small skills, fire starting, cooking, and branching out to the other parts of the site as well. For now, follow and share us, and comment. What videos would you like to see? What aspects of the Conococheague Institute are you most interested in? Thank you for joining us, and Jacob, thank you for your time today.
Absolutely. Thank you.